Alright, we're going to try this on video. And here is the Glock 350 4-bolt main. You can tell Dad was a big fan of stainless steel. He pretty much did everything in stainless. Exhaust manifolds, alternator, AC compressor, pulley for the power steering pump, water pump. Everything's good. I did notice the AC compressor a little tight to turn, and actually that was probably back in the days of R12, so it may have to be replaced. Front end components are the bolt-on Mustang 2 front end pieces that could be used from, I think it was 72 to 74. With this conversion kit, the Mustang 2 parts would convert pretty easily onto these street rods, and that was real popular back in the 80s, and actually still a real common conversion now, because I guess again all those parts bolt on real easy with very minor modifications. The frame all sanded down, repainted, Emron paint, wet sanded to a show finish, and the bottom of the frame is actually better than the top you see. Our plan was to show the car, and of course Judge can't see the top of the frame to look at the bottom, so the bottom of the frame is equal if not better than the top. We turned it all over. 350 automatic transmission. Here's started doing some brake setups, started running brake lines. As you can see, up under the frame rail here is a booster all the way back. Again, the frame is all in excellent condition. It's 100%. Very minimal modifications. I think these brackets here were part of the original frame. The only minor changes would be, let's see, putting the parts on for the front end. I think these brackets had to be welded on right where my hand is there. Those were added, and they were all welded, so there's no drilling done to the frame. And then I would suspect on the back, for the rear leaf springs, those brackets there were probably added. Again, there's no damage to the frame, just a little bit of welding. The rear end's 12 volt Chevy rear end out of a Chevelle of the era, 80s time frame. Put a new stainless steel gas tank on it, taped everything up to keep garbage out of it. I do have the original tank up in the other garage, which we'll show you later. When Dad got it down here to Georgia, again back in the mid to late 80s, there was a street rod custom license plate you could get. We let street rods, and Dad went and registered it even though we weren't driving it. That's the original tag from it, and I have the registration that matches the VIN and everything for it. Also hiding over here in the corner, hope you can see it, there's a drive shaft and those are two new bumpers. You can see there's one there, and the other one's still wrapped in paper. That's right there. I would say they were sent off to be re-chromed, but I think there's another set up in the garage. Those must be some new ones he got for it. Also over here, all the original windows. Of course, none of these are tempered glass, so you're probably going to want to replace those anyway. There's the rear, a little teardrop on the side windows, and this is the front window. You can see the crank on it because the bottom of the front window would crank out for ventilation. There's some polyurethane gaskets for the front end, oil dipstick, and a little nostalgia piece I found while digging around. At some point Dad took it and showed it. So here's his little sign he had. We took to a car show somewhere, 52 Chrysler engine with the Stromberg carbs and all the stuff he'd done to the car at the time. At the bottom it says A2C, which I think is Airman Second Class Larry Hill, which would have been when he was in the Air Force. So that would have been somewhere, he went in the Air Force in 60, so that sign's somewhere from 1960 to 1964. So all the other pieces down here at garage location number 1 is spread up. Oh, a few more things up here. Also, there's just some miscellaneous trim pieces, original stuff. All this here. Look at some cowling covers, like window trim pieces. Just stuff Dad saved. Probably wouldn't need any of that if you want to replace most of that stuff, but just some other miscellaneous pieces I have up there. Anyway, all the other pieces down in this garage I spread outside. And we'll give a rundown of that. Alright. Starting over here, hopefully the sunlight doesn't screw us up. Pick a new electric fan to go on it. Take some big rubber pieces. What do you say, floor mats? We had some kind of sound deadening material. Oh, you know what? Those are the rubber covers for the running boards. It's all coming back to me now. Here's the original hood panels. Thank goodness he still had those. He didn't have the hood on it because of the big 440 Hemi he had when he used to drive it. But fortunately, he still had all the hood pieces are still here. Leave that to be the cowling piece sitting on the lumber. So Matt, if you come down, you can help me build a deck too. Also, there's your original dashboard and the damage of what teenagers do to a dashboard when they modify things. Stone guards are in these boxes here, 4 new ones for both sides, front and rear. Unfortunately, the cardboard's marks, you know, right rear, right front, which is which. I believe this is a spare tire mount. It's really heavy and thicker than most of the other metals. These little brackets, I believe, are fender braces. It's been a while. And there's both the headlights. Those are the headlight mounts. And then I believe these two back here, one is a tail light, and I think the other may be another bracket for the side, but there's a rubber step that goes in here to climb up into the rumble seat in the back. And I believe those are the hinges for either the rumble seat or some of the doors, probably the rumble seat. Other miscellaneous stuff Dad started buying to get ready. There's another water pump. There's a water pump on the motor now. I don't know if you got that one and didn't like the other one or vice versa. Either engine cooler or transmission cooler. A couple miscellaneous trim pieces. These are like the pieces I just filmed there at the end or on top of that safe. Just like replacements for those. Plus some tail light brackets. See here, there's some new tail lights. Back when people were doing street rods in the 80s, they were doing those blue dots were the cool thing to put on the inside of them. That is a fan bracket, and then a front and rear license plate brackets, newer fin transmission pan, and some miscellaneous gaskets. The cool part here, this is the crank for the front window. I'm going to do this with one hand. Probably not. Anyway, I showed you the glass inside. And that's the crank for the front window. You can see it going back in when I turn that. And then, of course, you crank the other way and your front window goes out. Anyway, that's the original. Headlight. You can see with the sun again. Headlight trim or rings. Brackets for them. Just the handle for the... this would be the handle to open the rumble seat probably. Fuel neck. Comes through the body. Other miscellaneous gaskets, a boot, and a shifter for the automatic transmission. Harmonic balancer. A duplicate set of the tail light braces. We already had one set over there. Windshield wiper motor, again in stainless. That in stainless. We got some radiator mount rods. New front emblem for the front of the car. For the hood ornament. Believe that to be a reproduction. That's too nice. My favorite part. This is the original rear view mirror with the clock inside of it. I remember taking that off, thinking that was pretty neat. I'd never seen that when I was 16. And then looks like the original. That's probably the original hood ornament. That's probably why he had to replace it. I don't know what that brass one is off of. And it's a new radiator cap. Appears to be a heater core. Hate the sunlight. Hopefully you can see that fairly well. A new heater core. Whole box full of weather stripping. Gaskets. These are the this big pile of cork and rubber gaskets. Those are the pads that go between the body and the frame, so you don't have metal on metal. Back here, got some more plates and covers. More metal trim pieces that obviously needed to be replaced. And we got the kick plates here. Not the original, of course, just some reproduction kick plates. Again, all the little things that $50, $60, $80, $100 at a time break you. That appears to be the pile of stuff here. Film 2 will be in the other garage with the big body parts.